Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. It's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Houston Oilers.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Oilers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in playing well on both sides of the ball, winners of 6 of their last 8 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Oh, twisting away.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A throw over the middle, take it in. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
One of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play. Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 15th, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And take this into the end zone for the Bengals TD. A 15-yard touchdown play. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Taking it about the 1. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Barton is not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the division. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
Now, this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And that gives him 9 for the season, and I've been around the game long enough to know this. 10 is the benchmark number, all right? People want to get to there because that really signifies that you've had the year that you've been looking for and also gives you respect around the league.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about, to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Oilers 3.
Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Has be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
At their own 16.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Houston set to take. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
The tackle made at the 47-yard.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
They don't give it here.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, they're ball sometimes, stack things up and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tackles come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Going to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
26. Brought down at his own 6-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up third.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He's going to look deep down the field. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this throw caught left side. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And down inside the 15 he goes. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. This will be caught at about the 6. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Steps away. He's going to take off with it.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 22 yards there, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, and now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision, because they do have the final call now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. Dalvin Cook, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they trail the visiting Patriots at halftime. The Patriots trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
First down and 10.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Rolling to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
A gain of 15.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, you pointed out, it's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
This play started with the protection. You have to have it to give your quarterback time to let routes develop downfield. And then it's on him to locate an open man, and he does just that. Play callers love 4 vertical routes because receivers can be open at any time downfield, often for big gains.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now a 2nd and 6.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And it's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And his kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7.
Bengals 7.
All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you guys score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A jet sweep to start the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 6.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he fires one, but incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Cincinnati set to take over once again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his
pressure, gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Taken down at the 41. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defensive coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
On 3rd and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a 1st down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers? A really nice run.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up second and 5.
Out to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Makes the catch, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And his kick here is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7.
Bengals 7.
So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. That's the important thing. They currently have the best record among the wild card contenders, but they want to make sure they finish this season strong.
And isn't that the case each and every year about one division that ends up being the top-rated division? And unfortunately this year, it's theirs. But you can spin it and say, hey, they've been tested, and they've beaten a lot of good teams already. They will be prepared for the playoffs. This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a pickup of 6.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, Burrow. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From midfield now, Burrow. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get this to the 30-yard line before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
It's caught at the 10. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
First down, here's Burrow. This will be caught just inside the 10. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Bengals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
So a big play coming up for the Bengals as they'll indeed go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Houston set to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get to...
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On the move to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. Him in stride. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Here we are in the 4th quarter. Reaction drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him.
Pressure comes, and down he goes.
This has been a tough tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanking the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
No timeout. You got to go quick here. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So now let's look at this situation with no timeouts remaining. The offense should be able to just run the clock out.
I know that's what it says on my time management chart up here. And I know a lot of teams are hiring a time management coach who's going to sit in the box, talk to the head coach. And in this situation, if you do anything but take a knee in victory formation, then you're not playing the game right. This game should be over. Take the knee, hold on to the ball.
By the way, so impressive that you do have a time management chart up here.
Listen, you know I can't count. So I need it in a big way. We can't hire anyone to help us out, so hopefully I'm reading it correctly.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So for the Bengals, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for our visitors, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.